Hey guys, this is with Naruto the Ten Tails Part 4. Sorry I wasn't able to upload, the past few days. I was actually pretty sick. I got sick from my sister. It's not COVID, it's nothing like that. I just randomly got sick and I'm feeling a lot better now. And I was like, oh, might as well just record just for, a new video or something. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys do, don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that. And let's get into the what if. So where I left off last time was I believe in the beginning of the tuning exams, or not quite the beginning, but like when they first enter, when Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura first meet Rock Lee. That's where I left off. Or actually no, Sasuke and Lee, they both fought. Sasuke still lost. Or actually no, I said you guys determine if one of them lost. Like in your head, it didn't really matter. So yeah, you can decide whichever one of them won or lost. Either way. So all that happened. That's after I left off. So now they would be going into the written part of the exam, and when they were under the genjutsu, um, the genjutsu part right before, Naruto was not affected at all because the Ten Tails, since he's the Jinjuriki, the Ten Tails cannot be affected by genjutsu unless it's casted by the Rinne Sharingan. So I'm guessing since Naruto's technically the host of the Ten Tails, Naruto would also not be able to be put under genjutsu unless it was the Rinne Sharingan, making it pretty OP for him. But either way, he would just simply walk in. Sasuke also walk in pretty easily. Sakura would take a little bit more time, but still would be able to walk in. And Naruto finishes the test pretty easily because, again, Naruto's been like he's been training a lot. I'm pretty sure in this what if he would also do something like, well, he would also get smarter. That's I feel like something Naruto would end up doing and stuff like that. Sorry if I also cough a bit or like clear my throat. Again, I'm still like a teeny tiny bit sick. I still have like a little bit of a cough, but that's it. And so after all that would come the force of death part, and Naruto and Sasuke, Sakura, they would all run up to there and they would start discussing a few plans and not listening to Anko at all, or like somewhat listening, but mainly be focusing on making a plan. And so this makes Anko pretty mad, and she actually gets a kunai and only throws it at Naruto for some reason. But I feel like that's something that would happen in anime would specifically be thrown at Naruto, even though all three of them are talking. And so Naruto, either way, ends up completely dodging it. Or actually, no, no, no. Well, technically, since Naruto's the Ten Tails Jinjuriki, I feel like he um what is it called? Because technically, let me think about this. I feel like he wouldn't be, what is it called? Be able to be damaged by normal weapons. There we go. Because right now he's at the time where he's starting to get a little bit scaly, like how Obito did when he became the Tento Jinjuriki. How Obito instantly became scaly. Naruto didn't instantly become, but as he got older, he got a little bit more paler and is getting a little bit more scalier. And I'm gonna say that even though Naruto's still developing, that scaly part of him, that it's still able to harden and deflect almost any weapon right as of right now. And so it hit Naruto dead on, but it didn't affect him whatsoever. It kind of just knocked him over a bit, and he turned around and go, "Why'd you throw that for?" And she was kind of shocked to see that it hit him like straight on, but it didn't do anything. And would say, well, pay attention, and kind of just start reestablishing the rules, and then then she would say go after giving all them the heaven and earth scrolls, or like giving each one to or one to each team. And so Naruto would automatically go and let me explain a few things. The Sand Ninja, Gara, Tamari, and the brother that I always forget the name to for some reason. I can just never remember the name. They are not going to be the first one to finish, or the first one to finish, and this is because Gara doesn't have the Tento, so I feel like he would be a lot more nicer and wouldn't be so more or so bloodless or want to kill as much. Like I feel like they'd still do decently fast because isn't Gaara's sand just a King Genkai? It doesn't have anything to do with the Ten Tails technically. I'm not 100% sure about that, but either way, um, I'm gonna say that they make it indecently. They still make it, they still end up winning or not winning, but okay, let me rephrase that. They still end up, making it out of the force of death, but they don't end up getting there first, like how they did in the original, because Garo is not as strong or as bloodlust as he was before. While Naruto's group is actually going to be the first one to finish, because it's Naruto. I feel like he'd be able to get the both scrolls pretty easily, but I'm not gonna go to that yet because there's still a few more things I would like to explain that happen, in between. And so, Kabuto still tries to basically get close to Naruto and Sasuke because Orochimaru actually wants either Naruto or Sasuke in this timeline. And Sasuke is like a brother to Naruto, but Sasuke is still really jealous of Naruto for all of his power, and he protects him a lot. But the thing is, again, Sasuke wants power no matter what, no matter if it means betraying his only friend or anything. He just wants to kill Itachi, but he feels like he can't because it's Naruto. It feels like his best friend, his only brother, his only supporter, his only anything. And he's still Naruto's best bud, but he's just really jealous of him and kind of mad that he's so powerful, and yeah, all that, and that he's able to take on so many people like Zabuza and all that. So Kabuto still tries to basically, get close to Naruto and Sasuke, or mainly Sasuke, because although, as I said, Orochimaru wants either Naruto or Sasuke, uh, they already know that it's gonna be 10 times harder to get close to Naruto than it would be to Kabuto and to Sasuke. And so, this happens near the end, but also that part where Orochimaru tries to, get Sasuke, Naruto, and all of them still happens. Naruto still does go, what was it called? Go out of the forest in order to, go do his business real quick. And when he's there, the giant snake still attacks him. The only difference is this time Naruto was ready for it, kind of like he finished. He finished, and as soon as he finished, that's when the snake attacked him. He was able to avoid it, and then he's gonna test out one of his basically new abilities that he's been trying out, or that he's like taught himself. And he jumps up and grabs a tree branch, and it's a decently big one. It's one that would fit in his hand, like kind of like a sword, but it isn't as long. It's like the handle to a sword. And then he basically focuses chakra into the wooden part, making it into a chakra blade, kind of like how a lightsaber would look, where it looks like the handle then a whole bunch of light. That's how it would look like, but with whatever chakra or whatever, yeah, with whichever chakra nature he's using with it. So in this instance, it's gonna be like with fire. Actually, no, I'm gonna say with he's gonna be using wind chakra because that's his main wind, or his main chakra, even though he's the 10 toes, which would basically give him all nature chakras, but or chakra natures. But what was it called? I'm gonna say he mainly likes using wind chakra, and this makes it so it looks like he's holding a normal stick. That's all it looks like, because the wind looks mainly invisible to most people, except with people with very keen or like really good eyes. And this would make it like a really powerful weapon because it's basically invisible to other people. Again, it looks like just a normal stick, and he'd basically be able to go up to the snake and just slice its head off in half. But as soon as he gets to, or back to Sasuke and all them, um he gets there basically, and they're already put under the fear. Like, do you guys remember when Orochimaru basically scared them at the point where they froze? That's what state they're in right now. That's how they are. And as soon as Naruto gets there, for a second, he's also, overcome with fear, but then it quickly gets or goes away. And Naruto starts to fight Orochimaru, and Orochimaru realizes how strong Naruto really is at this point, and decides that he needs to back off, or else he might actually die, or or just um, or something bad just might happen to him. And so he starts to back off a bit, but in the last moment while Naruto wasn't looking, for like a quick second that Naruto couldn't get there in time, Orochimaru bites Sasuke's neck and gives him the curse mark, and this makes Sasuke scream in pain and then eventually pass out. And Naruto tries going after Orochimaru, but he realizes that he left Sakura and Sasuke alone, and that he needs to get back there quickly, or else you know some more ninjas might gang up on them. And so he decides to let Orochimaru go, and he runs back to Sasuke and Sakura, and they basically decide to just bring Sasuke with them. They get Sasuke and put him over over Naruto's shoulder, and Naruto carries Sasuke the whole entire way back. And before that fight happens, no, a little bit after that fight happens, Naruto's still able to get both the Earth and Heaven Scroll, and he basically, he gets there, and Kabuto tries to, quote unquote, help them, but Naruto already tells him that he already got his scroll, or they already got all the scrolls that they need. They don't need any help, and Kabuto goes, "Oh, okay." And Kabuto also thinks about how quickly they got it, and yeah, so they basically just end up going to the little tower thing. And I'm gonna say Naruto and Sasuke were actually one of the first ones there, and yeah, and so is Kabuto and all of them. And so now, this is the part where they get or the teams are selected for the, what are they called? For the before fights, like to get rid of some of the people. These are where they're chosen basically. And so the teams are going to be relatively the same, or actually they're going to be the exact same. Naruto versus Kiba, Hinata versus Neji, Sasuke versus the Hidden Sound Ninja, Sakura versus Ino. Who else was there? I can't think of any other ones. But yeah, that's gonna be all the ninjas, or not all the. That's gonna be some of the ones that I can just think of right now. And so the main ones are of course gonna be Naruto and Kiba, and you already know who wins this fight. Naruto, of course. It's gonna be a relatively easy fight for Naruto, because again, he's pretty OP right now because he has the 10 tails, and he's trying to learn how to master some of the 10 tails power. And even without like trying to practice, Naruto has already harnessed some of the power of the 10 tails. Because remember, this is a whole different 10 tails from canon. This is basically a nicer one that has, here, how do I explain it? It has an evil, like, it's evil but has a nice soul, is a way to put it, I guess. It's hard to explain. It's different because it's actually tameable and can actually speak, but people still see it as a really scary and harmful creature. But yeah, that's besides the point. Naruto still ends up winning that one, and Sasuke still ends up winning his. And this time Sakura actually wins her fight against Ino, because I feel like Naruto would have already trained Sakura a bit more and giving her an extra boost against Ino, and she still ends up winning. And all the rest of the teams are the exact same. And when it comes to what's her name? Oh, I forgot her name. Hinata, there you go. I can't believe I almost forgot her. When it comes to Hinata versus Neji, the exact same thing still basically happens, where Hinata loses and Neji's basically about to kill her. And but instead of a whole bunch, or those three Jonin ninjas coming in and saving Hinata at the last moment, Naruto instantly, as soon as he feels like some sort of bloodlust, or like really evil intent against Hinata from Neji, he instantly body flickers over there right in front of Neji, gets his arm and twists it back, not breaking it or basically twisting it back and putting it against his arm or behind his back and putting him down to the ground. And all the other ninjas that were about to body flicker over to Neji were pretty impressed by Naruto's reflexes and how quickly he was able to sense that he was about to do something. And Naruto, of course, tells Neji, "That's enough. She's already lost. There's no need to do that, Neji." And he kind of scoffs at this. And when Hinata sees this, she has a small flashback to when they were little and Naruto technically saved her because a whole bunch of kids were bullying her, but then Naruto tried jumping in and saving her. But that's when, and in this version, instead of the kids then beating up Naruto and running away or something, they instantly just start running away because they're really scared of the Ten Tails, and they're scared of the kid that holds the Ten Tails, and scared that he's gonna do something to them. And so they basically all run away, saying, I'm sorry," and they all run away crying. And Naruto basically just ends up looking back and smiling at her, and the same thing kind of happens when she flashes back into normal time or the present basically at the time. So Naruto then looks at Hinata, but instead of with a big smile, Naruto kind of just gives a small, kind of mini smile, like a grin, because at this point Naruto's still cheery, but it's a weird, complicated time for Naruto because although he has the Ten Tails and all that, he's still Naruto, and he still has the Ashura path in him, but he's still been kind of darkened by the Ten Tails, even though the Ten Tails is pretty nice. It's complicated. As of right now, I'm still kind of thinking things through. So either way, Naruto just gives her a little soft smile, and then he lets Neji up, and Neji just scoffs at him, saying, "This is my destiny, blah blah blah. People that are weak were born to be weak," and he basically just gives his classic speech about destiny and all that. And Naruto still somewhat says that he's gonna beat you and change your destiny, or exactly what he says, or not exactly, just a smaller version of that basically. And so then it's announced that they are given, I believe, 1 month of training in order to harness some new skills and just basically prepare. And I forgot, the way Naruto meets Jiraiya is because Naruto asked the Hokage if he has anybody that can basically train him, and the person that the Hokage gives him was that one elite Jonin that was teaching Konohamaru. But the thing is, I remember Naruto didn't really like him, and when it came to learning how to walk on water, that's when he met Jiraiya. But in this timeline, Naruto already knows most basics, and I feel like Naruto wouldn't really ask the Hokage to see if there's anybody that can train them. But actually, now that I think about it, Naruto would go to the Hokage and ask the Hokage, because the Hokage is like one of the main people that Naruto growing up was very close to and felt as a father figure for someone who didn't have a father. And so he would go up to the Hokage and ask if there's anybody that he thinks could possibly teach him anything new, anything that he's never learned before. And that's when he would call in the elite Jonin, the same one, to try to teach Naruto any new things. But when they went to what was that one place called where Jiraiya was hanging out, the bathrooms, or not the bathrooms, the hot springs, there we go. When they went to the hot springs or near it, and they're trying to train, Naruto basically already knew all this and kind of blew him off. And that's when he saw Jiraiya, and he looked at him kind of weird, because although he didn't look like it, Naruto can sense that there's some pretty great power inside of him. And Naruto decided to go up to him, And when Jiraiya first saw Naruto, he automatically noticed that he has Miyato's hair, looks like Miyato, has Miyato's eyes, and that's when he realized that's Naruto, his godchild. He didn't say anything at first, like he does in the original. He didn't say anything, but Naruto would say, or kind of like say, I can sense that you're powerful. Who are you? And Jiraiya would look at him like, kid, who am I? Who are you? And Naruto would be, oh, well, I'm Naruto Uzumaki. And as soon as he hears Uzumaki, Jiraiya's like, I knew it. That is Miyato's son. And, alright, either, I forgot if he knew exactly how Naruto looked like before he met him right there, or not. So either he already knew that that was Naruto, Miyato's son or Kushina's son, or he right there, that's when he learned for sure that was Naruto. And so then Jiraiya would go, well, I'm Jiraiya, the what is it called, the Toad Sage, right? Or one of the three legendary Sonics. He would introduce himself as one of those. And Naruto says, so I've heard about the three legendary Sonics, but I've never met one before. How powerful are you? And Jiraiya would say, oh, you want to know how powerful I am? I am very powerful, Naruto. And Naruto would go, well, is there any way that you can teach me? And Jiraiya would go, only if you're worthy. And Naruto would go, well, what did I do to show that I'm worthy? And Jiraiya would go, a few things. I want to make sure that you know the basics. Have you learned how to walk on water yet? And Naruto would, walk on water and go, yes, I have. What about walking on a tree or on the wall? And Naruto would also do the same. Or impressive. Well, what else have you learned? And Naruto would show him a few ninjutsus that he learned from that one scroll that he stole when he was, leaving the academy and stuff. That all that still happened, so he still learned a whole bunch. So he would show him the Shadow Clone Jutsu, a whole bunch of other stuff. He would also have learned the Flying Rajin, I believe, Miyato's move, and he would also somewhat have learned the Rasengan. I feel like both of those would be in there, and pretty private, or like pretty like really strong ninjutsus would probably be in there. And so I feel like both those would somewhat be in there, at least somewhat instructions, at least. And so Naruto wouldn't show him the Rasengan or the Flying Rajin, because Naruto didn't really practice the Rasengan at all, and neither did he the Flying Rajin, but he still remembered the the scroll, or like the instructions on how to actually learn it, but he's never really taken the time to learn it. And so Jiraiya says, alright, have you made any sort of summoning yet? And Naruto would go, no, I have not. And Jiraiya, tells Naruto about summonings, what they do, blah, 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 and would give him a little scroll for him to do a summoning on. And Naruto would look at this and, bite his hand, put blood, and then sign his name in blood, which would, automatically let him summon different pets. And so Jiraiya still basically throws him into that one ravine thing, and Naruto still ends up summoning Ganabuto, the big toe chief. And the only way that the Toad Sage would actually, what is it called? The only way the Toad Sage would actually let Naruto basically be his master is if he lasted on his back the whole entire day, or for the rest of the day. And of course, Naruto would do this extremely easily and wouldn't even break a sweat. And so, the Toad chief would respect Naruto and call him basically his master, I guess. I forgot what the word was. Pretty sure he said master, I'm not sure. But yeah, you basically do that. And the last test for Jiraiya, for him to officially become a student, was actually to just simply summon a frog. It didn't have to be the Toad chief, just a frog that would be able to catch him. And he technically completed that, but it ended up being, the Toad Chief, which Naruto had to go on to like a whole nother quest to do, which he passed both either way. And Jiraiya officially made Naruto his student. And so that's where I'm gonna leave out this what if. Sorry that it's only 25 minutes long. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, like, subscribe, all of that. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.